Your parents had a Mercedes-Benz and you had a Mercedes-Benz when you were 16. Maybe a Mercedes-Benz isn't a finer thing to you. So it really is subjective to your age and to your experience. Finer things to me, running these very streets that we seem to be sitting in, the finer things to me was a Cutlass, the loud music, when you can hear me 4 or 5 blocks away, and the nice clothes. Well, the chase for those finer things actually led me to prison. And it was funny because I thought that the chase for those finer things, I really thought that they helped me thrive in prison. But they didn't, though. I just continued my negative behaviors and habits from the streets, and I brought them to prison with me. That was the only thing. But you couldn't tell me no different, because in prison I thought I was actually doing something. You see, on the streets, $5,000 or $10,000 is nothing. In the penitentiary, well, you might be penitentiary balling. In 2009, when the housing market crashed, my mother would lose her home. I felt good because I had a little bit of money inside of the bank, and I could give her some money so she could go and move. And I felt good because I could contribute. In 2011, the DOC counselor would call me into the office. And he would tell me, hey, your father is in a coma. And on his deathbed, he asked for it. Now, this confused me. Now, that seems like a normal procedure. A father is passing, he asks for his only son. But you see, the funny thing about it is that me and my father had a weird relationship. You see, my father's idea of spending time was dragging me when I was 10 years old to the crack house and the CD and leaving me downstairs for hours on end. My mom would beg him, hey, spend some time with your son. Spend some time with your son. Spend some time with your son. So, how do you spend time with me? He would take me to the arcade, give me $20 or $30, disappear for hours, come back high as a kite, play a few games himself, and then take me home and told my mom we had spent some time together. So I was confused when this man asked for me on his deathbed when he was surrounded by every single person that he had been around. See, I never even really met my dad till I was 10 years old and only knew him for a couple of years. Now, you may be asking yourself, I started this whole thing off talking about finer things. Well, what is he ranting and raving about? You see, don't you get it? The finest thing known to man is time. Time with your loved ones. You see, in my quest for finer things, I discovered finer things. Like a son being there and being able to take in his mom instead of giving her a few measly dollars when she loses her house. Like a son being at the bedside of a dying father instead of just being left with unanswered questions. Appreciate the time that you have with your loved ones. And today I challenge you. You see, when we go home, we always tell our loved ones, man, I love you. I love you. And that's a beautiful thing. But you know the one thing that we neglect to tell them is why we love them. So when you go home tonight and you're talking to your wife, your husband, your spouse, your partner, your child, your mother, don't just tell them that you love them. Tell them why you love them. I guarantee you it will be one of the most profound conversations and moments you will ever have in your life. I promise you. I want to leave you with the words of an unknown author. And I quote, life is not about how many breaths you take, but yet and still, how many things take your breath away. My name is Goldy.